What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. In today's episode, sitting back down with my good friend Jose Cruz of Dolphin Painting. He's getting ready to make a pivot. He reached out, wanted to go over some strategy on how to do so. And this was an awesome episode about motivation, starting up, starting from zero. Oh, man, always love these types of coaching sessions. So I think you're going to get a lot out of it at whatever stage business you are in. And it starts right now. Contractors all over the world are wanting more time, more freedom, more impact. The way we do this is through implementing systems, processes, standards. Welcome to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Here we hit business strategy, coaching, mindset, motivation, the tools you need for success. So strap in, listen up, and get ready to grow on the Contractor Secrets Podcast. What's going on, everyone? I'm here with my buddy, Jose Cruz, Dolphin Painting, or maybe not, don't know yet. Maybe Shark Painting, Martha, who knows? What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
So in a transition period, so Jose's joined me before, my buddy from the Gathering of Florida Painters. Yeah, man. So you called the meeting. Let me know what's going on, man. What are we hitting on today?
Yeah, so it is still Dolphin Painting. I'm gonna be opening essentially my own location, just closer to me. We've talked about how I commute.
Right.
So about an hour and a half. It'd be like the equivalent if you did business in Orlando.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, which I would not do.
So and it's because it was kind of established, but there's really no foundation to the company.
Sure.
And now we keep hitting this brick wall. It's been really hard to implement everything that we've talked about.
So what's that brick wall? Just curious. What have you been running into?
I think it's just like a vision thing with my business partner, who happens to be my uncle, just as far as our vision for the company and how we want to run things.
Sure.
Which is, it's fine, but I still, have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
I got pretty large
Sure.
expenses with 2 kids, house, family. It's just
right. It's just not working. Well, what
it's
I learned
not working.
is,
Yeah.
And unless you're hitting 1.5 million, to be honest with you, a partnership is like a part-time, it's like a full-time job, in terms of making I don't know, 60 to 70,000 a year. So which would be double if you were on your own. So, and I think there's a time and a place for a partnership, but I just find that from my experience, man, hearing about it, it sounds like it's stressful financially, if the system isn't perfect,
Exactly. And what happens is, to make ends meet for both of us, essentially, we kind of have to pay ourselves a little more than what I would imagine most owners are paying themselves. You've told me a couple of times when we sat down for dinner and when we've talked before on the podcast that I should be getting a salary and bonuses every quarter, whatever the case may be, take a profit share.
Right.
Yeah, every quarter. It's just we're not able to make that happen because there's 2 of us and we both have large expenses.
Right.
So I'm to the point now where I'm realizing I have a pretty decent market here with the Treasure Coast, Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Palm City area. It's one of the largest growing areas in Florida. Still have South Florida, Broward and Palm Beach counties, which are
well, I mean, I get all that. Let's get down to the nitty, man. How are you and your business partner going to amicably make this happen?
I think with me doing my own thing, having my own crews up here.
Well, the problem is that you're keeping the company name the same, right?
I guess, yeah, it would be.
And I guess, are you?
Yeah, no, yeah, it would be, yeah.
So, is he getting any of the profits that you're going to be generating?
No, so that would no.
Then you need to change the name of the company. That's a given. That should be step 1. You need to rebrand.
Okay.
Because that if you don't rebrand, then there's this, and I don't
I'm not questioning his character or what his intentions will be, once you become successful, but you're planning. And if you're not going in with the idea that you're going to be a $2 to $3 million painting company in the next 2 to 3, 4 years, then you're not launching yourself appropriately. Right. And if you're going in with the mindset of you're going to just keep the name of the company, let me make it clear. No one knows the name of your company and where you're going to be starting.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I think first of all, like for your independence, you need to change the name of the company. That's number one. And I think it's exciting. It's this one opportunity you get to do it.
Yeah.
What are your apprehensions toward that?
It's just like, restarting everything,
You are.
and yeah.
You
So
are, but you're
like,
not restart. But the cool thing is that you have this experience that you have had an opportunity to be a part of. But again, when you detach from a partnership, you can't take the name with you if the person who started the business came up with that name.
I understand that. I guess just because my reasoning behind it would be like, it is a family company, so I kind of thought that it would just make more sense if I did.
Can I make an assumption?
Yeah.
I don't think you've made it clear enough that you're 100% separating from this partnership rather than saying, hey, it's a branch. And I think you need to be clear, because if you're not, then there's going to be this gray area when you become very successful. Right. And I just think you're at a point where you're kind of just getting a little frustrated, and who wouldn't? You're working an hour and a half away, bro. And it could create some tension. Oh, you're starting a whole new business, brother. I understand. But here's what I learned. And am I heading in the right direction? Should I stop?
Yeah, no, you're heading.
All right, here's what
I don't want to. I feel like I don't want to burn any bridges.
Understood.
With family, and
brother.
it's like,
Jose, you're a good guy. You got a good heart. But let me tell you something, and you better take this to the piggy, bro. Okay. Your family, the kids in your household and your wife are the number one priority in your world. And if you don't have that straight in terms of finances and structure and all this, then nothing's straight, right? So you're making a decision for what matters most to you. And that might hurt some people's feelings, whether it's family, whether it's close friends, whatever, right? I think you contributed a lot to this endeavor initially, yes?
Yeah.
And you probably improved it, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not like you're leaving him hanging to dry. He's going to make more money than he's making now because he doesn't have to share it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So you need to focus on yourself right now, because both of the companies will be failing if you don't. And you know what? Maybe at the end of the tunnel, guess what? You could become very successful and then help out once you get the system down the way you believe in your mind that it needs to be, that you've been trying to implement that hasn't been getting done, right?
Yeah, that's spot on.
Okay. So you haven't had an opportunity to test your theories that from your training, what you've learned, your industry peers, the people that are mentoring you, you've had an opportunity to soak up all this information. And what's happening is you aren't allowed or given the opportunity to pull the trigger the way you need to. There's a belief in you that's saying, we're not doing this the right way. And I know the reason why we're failing. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you have that sort of dynamic, okay, it's very smart of you to pivot. But if you're going to do it, you need to go all in. You need to rebrand 100%. If you don't rebrand, first of all, that's going to cause, again, this weird gray area of, are you still my business partner? Or are we partnerships? Then you got a money situation. I would rather you rip the Band-Aid off now when your business is worth nothing than have to deal with that later on, because I know you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful, right?
Yeah.
Like, come
absolutely.
on, like, you're around the peers that are successful. You've seen it happen. But again, you got to rip the Band-Aid off, bro.
Okay. Now, all right. Now, Tanner, now that leads me into my next thing I wanted to talk to you about. So if you were if you were to rebrand, right, and you only had a few $1,000s, less than 5, what would the first quarter look like? Because that's where I'm like, I walked into something that was already established. I already had, like branding. I already had
All right.
like kind of a little bit of
Sure.
everything. I already had connections, networks, and now I'm in this market where I know a few people here.
All right.
I
Stop.
moved
Stop.
here.
I'm
you know,
not going
like-
to hear this anymore. Jose, you know that it only takes you 1 or 2 jobs to get going. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. A rebrand is as simple as going online and getting a logo generator and coming up with a name. Do not compare yourself to people that have been in their brand and have rebranded a successful brand. That's different. Okay. You have to create your startup brand, which, you know, is probably going to be a little raunchy at first, low budget, whatever. You need to come up with a name that excites you and your family. I would get your wife involved, right? I think that's so important. You're a married man. I am too.
Yeah.
Okay. I think once you start getting your team involved locally, that's when it becomes fun. So make it a fun thing. How old are your kids?
My oldest one's about to turn 3, and my
Okay.
youngest one's 1.5.
Cool. Your 3-year-old might even contribute a little bit to the new name of the business, right? Then what you're
Yeah.
going to do, okay, is you're going to get a website with your new branding and your new logo, and all this is going to create some excitement for you. And what it's going to do is it's going to start to motivate you more each step of the way, right? You get a logo, you get a website. All this is, I mean, we're talking, I don't know, $100 for it all, right?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
going to get your LLC again, $100. You're going to get your insurance, $100. I mean, and then at this point now, you have, again, I want you to think of it as if you're going into a new city. What would you do if you weren't rebranding? What if that was your task as a partner, was to bring dolphin painting into the city that you're starting? Tell me what your first move would be.
To meet with the paint
Recruiting
stores around
subs. You need to recruit help.
yeah.
You got to get people to paint for you.
here. Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. So what do we need to do, right? So again, utilize the Facebook group. We talked about this. You know, what did Brad Ellison do? You know, reverse engineer what he did. He just utilized the Facebook group. Okay, he found subs, started interviewing immediately. You used to work for the #1 lead aggregator in the world. Okay?
Yeah.
So your first move should be what?
Getting some leads and getting some
Get
subs.
some leads. Look, say what you want about them. Angie Leads delivers leads. That's what they're good at, right? Okay. So again, I mean, we got to look at everything as you know, in simple fashion rather than you're starting from zero, because you're not. Somebody who just started their painting business today that didn't have a year worth of experience operating and managing crews and managing customers and managing leads and, you know, contributing with other industry pros, and like you're at an extreme advantage here.
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, yeah. I can see it. It's like I failed so many times, and this is such a big jump that I'm like, that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I know you'd kick me in the ass.
Tell me an example of a failure.
Well, I mean, trying to figure out everything with dolphin painting, I feel like.
I mean, I don't feel like you even had a good enough foundation to see if you judge that as a failure, you're going to have a skewed perception of what your capabilities are. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Because it wasn't a true try. You were an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not running a business. That's kind of just like corporate, like checking in. Like you weren't really boots on the ground. You never really saw what you're capable of. Right. So I think what you should look at that as is an internship, and you're ready to start your own now. You know, and again, first step is figuring out, okay, here's a couple things we need to figure out. W-2 or subs, which one do you want?
It's going to have to be subs. I mean, I've
Subs
painted
first,
before, but
and then you should transition to W-2. You're in Florida, year-round painting. Can't beat it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Step 2, get your leads, right? Then what you do is you have to, I mean, you're going to work so hard in the next month. You're going to time things. First thing you need to do is, again, you need to get your branding right. You need to, you know, we got to switch up your Dripjobs account. You got some things that you need to do.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this, man, you know, one thing that you need to do is make sure you're selling jobs and you're recruiting help. That's it. It's simple. And then what you do is when you get a job, you pair the job with the help, and then you collect the money. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And then you refine that process and you do it again. That's all I'm doing every day. I find the job, I find the help, and I connect them, and then I collect the money.
Yeah.
So, but the help is what's interesting. And it's like, dude, you have to look at how hard are you, how bad do you want this? I just want to know, like, what is the motivation behind all this?
Yeah. It's like,
are you tired of struggling financially?
Yeah, I'm absolutely tired
Got
of it.
kids, you know, they need things, your wife, like your bills, you're struggling.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is like the one thing that I found that I'm like actually good at.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm just like I don't really see any other options.
Okay, good. Wow.
Like
So
I
that means
really,
that you should double down on it, but there has to be, I mean, there's got to be this, dude, I grew up poor, dude. Like, so for me, I had that thing in me since I was like, as soon as I was allowed of age to work, that when I worked, it was as if I'll never be broke again. Like, I mean, struggle when I was a kid. So I
yeah,
saw what struggle looked like, and I saw what lack of resources did to my family. Right. So there's this certain, I don't know, this certain level in me where, I won't drop below, but I'll tell you what, I run so hard every day. You could look at and say what you want about success and $1 million painting business, software company. It doesn't matter. For me, it's just like, I only have one gear, and it's the highest gear that I can go. And for you, I want you to audit that, because first of all, it starts with belief in yourself. Your self-talk right now is demotivating me. You've already mentioned how much of a fail you are, right? That's what you're telling yourself. And you're saying this is the only thing that I'm good at. Okay. Those two things are not true. Number one, it wasn't a failure. First of all, failure is like you did it and you made no money and you quit, right? That wasn't
yeah,
the case. You just didn't have the right system in place. Okay. So if I turn on my car and there's no gas, is that a failure? No, I'm just didn't put the gas in the car.
right,
Right. So in the same breath, you also said it's the only thing I'm good at. Well, if you generalize being good at one thing, you're not going to be good at all the other aspects of business that you need to be good at. Right.
right,
So you
yeah,
are good at being resourceful because you're on this call with me. You found a way to be my friend.
yeah,
You're a pretty good networker. You know what
true,
I'm saying? You're
yeah,
good. You're pretty good over the phone on sales because you found a way to sell jobs an hour and a half away.
yeah,
Right. You're
yeah,
pretty good at motivating your uncle. Got to him to a certain point, probably changed his mindset a little bit and helped his business.
yeah,
So you're pretty
definitely,
good. You're a pretty good consultant. Be careful what you say to yourself. Because you know
I
what
appreciate
it'll
that.
do is it'll limit you. And then, when things get hard, you're going to start soaking into that self-doubt, right? That the stuff that tells you, oh man, I shouldn't even be here. I'm going to go back to Angie Lee's and cold call freaking contractors.
Right,
But you see the potential of what you could do. You're seeing your friends make millions of dollars.
yeah,
And you want a part of that. Okay.
yeah,
So listen, bro, I like you, man. I think you're a good guy, dude, connecting with you. And just, I think you have a certain, presence about yourself that's trustworthy. It's honest. You just want to take care of your family. And I'm all about that, but I'll tell you something, dude, you need to learn how to be resourceful.
yeah,
Okay. You can't make excuses for this. And you know what being resourceful is? And I'm going to put this in a practical fashion for you, right? It's finding the subs, finding the jobs. Create a company name today. Go online, get a logo, which anyone can do. Okay.
right,
Announce it to the world that you've rebranded. Do not worry about what your uncle thinks. So it's not his at this point. You have to make it clear. You might want to call him I don't care what you do, but the people in your home that you go to bed every night and they're there, that's who matters the most. And if you build your life thinking about what other people think, whether they're family or not, okay, then you will not have the life you want. You'll have the life that you think other people want for you.
I hear you.
I'm a people pleaser. That was one of my detriments as a business owner. And it's hard because I grew up in a household where I was fighting for the love of my mother and my father, and like that transitioned into adulthood. So I know what it feels like to want to make sure everyone's happy around me. You understand? But when it comes to business, I had to learn to separate that, because guess what? I was the one who was unhappy trying to make everyone else happy. So I fired my own father. You know how hard that was?
Yeah, I could imagine pretty hard.
Okay. Pretty hard, right? So I've been through that and I know what it's like to separate business and family. That's going to be step one. Then it's being resourceful. And right now you need a direction to go in. You need a new brand to help push you through. You take an old dog and try to put him into a new market that, no, can't do that.
Yeah,
Got a name picked out?
I do. I have some
Had
ideas,
one,
but
haven't you? All right. What's the name?
I like Paint 772.
Okay.
772 is the area code around here. I think that it tells
I
you
don't
exactly
like it.
what we do.
That limits you. Don't use that name. You know why? Because guess what? If you're thinking big, what happens when you go to Georgia? And you know why I can call you out on that? Because guess what? When you did your Dripjobs testimonial, what'd you say?
if I wanted to branch out or,
That's right.
or make a franchise.
That's right. That's right. So you already have that deep inside you that that's one of your goals. Right. So
Right.
don't limit yourself to an area code, because guess what? They're going to be like, what's 772? Now, if that has some other meaning other than the area code that you're in,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Take your
Yeah.
time. Think about the name, but don't think of it in a small fashion. Okay. Think of it in a big fashion.
I hear you.
Okay. And again, I'm just giving you insight from the perspective of I see you growing beyond one town, one city, and that's how you should see it too.
Yeah, definitely.
What other questions, man?
No, I think we hit everything that I had going on.
What's your next move?
Talk to my wife when I go back inside.
Are you fired up?
Yeah, I definitely see everything. Like I could make a plan and, you know, get to it, hiring subs or interviewing them or.
That's the fun part. I would go to Sherwin-Williams. Start there.
Yeah, and there's 2 Regal Paint Centers here in.
Oh, beautiful. Guys, I love those guys.
Yeah, there's 2.
You know
of
what you
them.
should do? You should meet with Tyler.
Yeah,
Are you friends with Tyler?
I've met him before. I'm not.
Yeah, and I would say, listen, man, this is my goal. This is what I'm trying to do, and utilize their network. You know, say I was at the Florida gathering of Florida painters. I want to go all in with you guys. That's resourcefulness. You know, that's going in and saying, look, and you got to, and dude, listen, you have to have that belief system tight about who you are and what you can accomplish, because business is hard, bro. There's times where I can't even tell you how many times I wanted to give up, quit, turn in the towel, pissed off customers, jobs turning out horrible, you know, guys not doing what they're supposed to, guys not showing up on time, guys doing things they weren't supposed to be doing on my job sites. You know, I remember one time, and just to give you an idea, like I think I was a year and a half in, I decided to pop up on a job, you know, just to see how I was doing. And sometimes I just go, right? It's not the best. Look, at the end of the day, business, right?
Right.
Go to the job. I don't see the guys working. I'm like, where are they? But their cars are there, right? I'm like, this is weird. So I'm walking around the house, dude. They're coddled up in a corner smoking. You know what they're smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, dude. They're all stoned out of their minds on my job. Okay. You know, so, and that was my only crew.
Yeah.
This was premium painting at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to have that belief system in you that can audit yourself, but also know that people have done this before you. They've become successful, and it does require going through this. You have not been a business owner yet. You've been an accessory to a business owner. So you're going to learn a lot of things, like when everything falls on your shoulders. So start small. Do not try to, one of the mistakes that you might make is trying to get to where you were with Dolphin Painting. You have customers calling, you have a system in place. Do not compare your new business to this. Compare to what you did yesterday. And did you improve? Yes or no? No. Okay, cool. Did you get a sub today? Cool. Did you find 2 guys that you trust that can, and when you go in with these subs, you need to sell them. You don't just say, hey, we're just starting out. Like, it's all about how you come about it. Hey, I have a ton of jobs. I need high quality painters to come and do them. We're coming up from Miami or whatever it is, right? Like, and then you build that, and then you align whatever that promise is with, you know, what you deliver. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome, man. I really appreciate it, Tanner.
Yeah, of course, bro. I hope this was helpful, man. And I know you're going to be successful, man. Good luck.
I appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, bro. See you
later.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to that business breakthrough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition this episode to a testimonial. That's right. So one of our awesome Dripjobs users was kind enough to do a short testimonial for us. I asked him some questions that I'm sure a lot of us have about what Dripjobs is it valuable? So if you would like to sit and listen to this, I'd appreciate it. You can sit, hang around, and hear what one of our very happy clients has to say about Dripjobs for his business.
What's up, everyone? I'm here with Chris Rodriguez. He's here to share a little bit about Dripjobs and what it's been doing for him. I'll start off by saying, just give me some raw, authentic thoughts about it, man. What's it doing for you?
Honestly, it's been huge for us. The biggest thing I found is how much free time I've gotten now. Like, it's opened up a lot of time, not only in my business, but in my personal life. So that's been huge with like the automation, with the follow-ups and things like that. And also on top of that too, you know, the experience that it gives our customers, you know, how professional it looks from the beginning all the way to the end. You know, we really pride ourselves in the experience that we give to our customers too. So it's been perfect for us.
You getting any feedback from your customers about it?
Oh yeah, tons. Every time, like I feel like 3 out of every 5 customers, you know, come back to us and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe like how professional that was," or you know,
Yeah.
"You got back to us so quick. Like the system's so cool and easy."
Yeah, it makes it easy. You know, one thing that we try to do is connect you to the customer in a way that where you almost feel like we work for you, you know. That's
Yeah,
how it is, you know, and you know, that's cool, man. So you have the automation set up. What is the you know, what is the feedback in terms of the automated drips after you send a proposal out, right? So like you send a proposal out, drip job shoots out drip messages for the course of like a month. Have you won any jobs from it, or people responding to them at the very
I,
least? What's happened?
yeah, I totally have. I've actually, it's funny. It works so good that sometimes I forget about jobs that we've sent out, and then I get a message back from somebody. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh man, that was like 2 weeks ago."
yeah.
But yeah, I found that a lot of people have been responding back. We've been getting a lot more jobs from that, and that's where we really were lacking before Drip Jobs.
When before you signed up for Drip Jobs, I think you probably heard about it, right?
Yeah.
There was some apprehension, of course, new software. What is a piece of advice you have to anyone that I show this to, or put this soundbite into to them? Maybe they're on the fence. Maybe they think they have a good system. They're using Joist or some of the other estimating softwares.
Yep.
What advice you'd give to them?
Yeah, that was totally me. I was using one of those cheaper softwares. I was on the fence, you know, a little more money, smaller business, you know, do we really need something like that? And I'm in the mindset now that it's the total opposite. Like if you're a smaller business, like you definitely need something like this.
That's what I
Like,
say.
yeah, it definitely because I'm like an owner operator, so I'm still in the field. So it's like almost impossible to work all day and give back to everybody. Yeah. So, you know, implementing this has been huge. It saves so much time for us. Like it's a no-brainer. I think like if you're on the fence, definitely do it and you'll thank
You, are
Tanner
you,
and myself later.
yeah, thank you, brother. Are you sending the booking link to people that call you?
I am now. I saw that you did that and I was like,
Oh,
oh,
that button
geez.
there. You saw we put the button there.
No, I didn't see the button. There's a button.
Yeah, on the app, it says new request at the bottom.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is tap it, punch in the number, and it shoots them a text message with your link.
Oh, wow. See,
Yeah,
that's another thing I love about it too. It's like it starts off, it's a great system, but you keep improving it and it just
yeah,
gets
we're
better and better and better.
bringing it, and I love that because it's so easy. And just for anyone listening, what that does, someone calls you typically like it used to be. All right, what's your first name, last name, email, phone number, address, and you're trying to get all this information. You write it down somewhere, or you type it in your calendar. But now we just give you a link to send them, and they fill it out. It goes into Drip Jobs in the right spot, creates an appointment request, and sends them a text and an email in seconds. And you can get back to doing what you're doing. And you being an owner operator, right now you're in a vehicle, you're probably going to estimates or checking on a
Yep.
job. Like you don't have time for all that, man. So, you know, that's cool,
Yeah.
man.
It's
I'm glad it's working.
yeah, dude, it works so good. And I think when we met at the PC, I kind of told you, like I was on vacation with my family, you know, at Disney World, about to get on a ride with my daughter, and 2 leads came in. Normally, you know, I have to call them back real quick. I got on the ride with her, got off, and Drip Jobs already followed up with them, and they booked both the appointments. You
Oh
know,
man, that's crazy, bro.
yeah, like that time to me is invaluable.
That's huge because you would have had to say, hold on, I got to go take care of these leads real quick because you know you were getting charged for them. And
Right.
you had to step away from your family in that moment, call them. Now, if they didn't answer, you would have had this feeling like, damn, like I got to now that would have been on your head
Yeah, exactly.
the whole time. I've been there.
Yep.
And then this thing followed up with them instantly. It's almost like you had an office admin in the office while you were at Disney.
Yep. Exactly.
And
So,
it was handling business for you. And you didn't
yep.
have to text her or him to be like, hey, follow up with that lead.
Yep, exactly. So that right there is just the value is
I have to
crazy.
say
Like it's
that
priceless.
right there is one of the best testimonials I've ever heard. And I've been doing this sort of system for a while, but when it became Drip Jobs, that was a good one right there, man. I appreciate
Yeah. Nah, no problem, man.
it,
I
Chris.
love it.
Thank you, brother, for your support. anyone listening to this, please take heed to Chris's advice. He was in most cases just like you. I think he has a business breakthrough that you could go listen to on the podcast somewhere. But thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, man.